All right, the reason that we're actually here is to hear from people that are a lot smarter than me. So really excited to welcome Lauren Bailey to the stage next. She is the founder of 3 very successful brands, all dedicated to helping young professionals build their confidence and build their careers in sales. They are Factor 8, the Sales Bar, and #Girls Club. She has been recognized as most influential, a top woman, a top coach, and she is a bit of a live wire, so be prepared for that. Now, she did write that into her bio, but I can confirm it because I currently have an impression of her wedding ring in my palm from our handshake just now. So I'm really excited to welcome Lauren to the stage. Would you please help me in giving her a warm welcome? Lauren Bailey.
Thank you, Colin. It's better than having that impression on his cheek, don't you think? How we doing? I'm so happy to be here, y'all. Thank you for having me. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about some alarming trends that are happening in sales. I'm going to give you some really good tactics that you can take back right away to work to get better conversions and better success on calls. And I'll even give you a free class at the end of this. But unfortunately, I have to start with the bad news. Our sales reps are getting dumber. Did she just say that? Oh my God, how rude. But it's not their fault. It's not their fault. There's things happening in our marketplace today that are making this true. And here's the first one. Unemployment. All the way down. When I first started running sales teams 20 plus years ago, everybody was looking for young person, fresh college graduate, 2 years of experience, played a competitive sport, right? That was our hiring profile. And there were slews of them. It was no problem. We hired an experience. I have an open rec right now for a BDR, and frankly, I'm going to be lucky if this person's ever actually talked to someone on the phone before instead of texting. It's tough. It's really tough. And at the same time, you guys, our customers are getting smarter, aren't they? We've all heard about the customer's journey. They expect more out of their sales reps. Third statistic is that the demand is going up. Raise your hand if you're in sales or run a sales team for me. Nice and tall. Woo, okay. Keep it up. Well, hey, yay. Work with me here. Keep it up if the majority of your team or yourself do your sales over the phone, digitally. Wow, right? All right, let's put it down. Raise your hand if you or your team carry a bag and it's face-to-face in field. There are 7 people here with their hands up. So inside sales, digital sales is growing at a rate of 15 times field sales, and that number's going up and up and up. So we have fierce competition for these guys, don't we? Unfortunately, our customers are getting more demanding as well. If you've never seen this before, it's really impactful. There is a 400% improved chance of conversion if you get to a customer within 1 minute of them being on your website, downloading or taking activity. That goes all the way down to 17% if it's a day. And do you know what happens after 1 day? It starts to go negative. They have a negative impression of your brand. There is a negative chance of them buying from you if your awesome 12-year-old rep doesn't call them back, right, within that first day. Ooh, that's difficult, right? So they're getting more demanding, and they're getting harder to get a hold of. We know this is true, right? They're not sitting there waiting for your call. Check out these stats. First call, the chances of reaching your customer. It takes 6+ calls to actually get a hold of someone, right? It starts at about 30%, and frankly, I think these numbers are going down. And sadly, the number of attempts by reps, it's not going up. Look at this. Only about 30% of reps are making more than 1 attempt. And 30% of leads are not being contacted at all. Raise your hand if you're in marketing. You're working your ass off for those leads, am I right? This is scary. This is hard. It's really hard. Okay, one last trend that's just really jacking this up for us, you guys. And you can thank our friends in SaaS for this. Our VC-backed companies. I was having drinks last night with a guy in a VC, and he was telling us how it really worked on the inside. And straight up exactly what he said, 1 out of 10 are going to make it. Okay? So they invest in 10 companies, and their expectation is that one of them will be this red line. Disruptive growth. Not just up and to the right, but skyrocketing up and to the right. That's what they're looking for. And that one company carries the other 10, right? This is how it works. But that means, as leaders of companies, of leaders of sales teams, we're in a race up and to the right. We are trying to hit this massive, slightly unrealistic, if I'm fair, demand of fast growth. So what we're doing is we're tooling up. What do you guys think the number is here? What's the average number of tools per rep this year? Actually, the study's a year old. It's probably doubled. 3, 5, 12, 7. Yeah, really darn close. 6. I was talking to companies at a conference yesterday, at Ambition's conference. God, I love them. And we talked to companies who had over 100. 100. This is why our reps are getting dumber. Our customers need more. They have 28 tools to manage at the same time. These expectations are crazy high. And sadly, as leaders, we can't just go to the local conference and buy a skilled rep. Wouldn't that be great? Which booth would you line up at? I want a rep with curiosity. Let me just download that. I could use some confidence or some grit or some competitive spirit. And sadly, it doesn't work that way. So what we do to solve it, guys, is we hire kids and we give them these. Hire a kid, give them a script. Hire a kid, give them a script. And your scripts sound like this at the phone. Like, this guy's asleep at the wheel. This is the customer experience that's happening out here. And you guys, our customers hate it. Here's your next quiz. What % of customers trust salespeople? This is good. Say that louder. 20, 10, 15. Can I get a 5? Can I get a 7? Can I get a 3 is the answer. Nailed it. There's absolutely no prize. 3%. Do you know that we beat out politicians by 1.5 points? Crap. And the number's plummeting. The last time I gave this presentation, the number was 13. That was a few months ago. 3%. Our customers hate it. And so do our reps. A few years ago, the average lifespan of an inside sales rep was 30 months. And we were in a race. Let's bring them on, let's get them trained, and let's get 18 months of productivity out of them. And then we went here, and now we're here. Plummeted. It's plummeted. If it takes you 6 to 9 months to get somebody up to speed, note that this is the average. Most of them are gone before we're getting our return on investment on these guys. Ouch. And you know what breaks my heart about it? It's not just the ROI, it's that we're teaching young people to hate sales. They're not finding careers in sales. They are exiting sales, and fast. As sales leaders, marketing leaders, and business leaders, that means that we got a great big old rep-size hole in our funnel. These 3 trends have converged: the marketplace, the customer expectations, employment, and rep openings are open longer. Our seats are unfilled. Our reps are reading scripts. We're not calling customers enough times to get a hold of them. There are leads not being contacted at all. And when you work so hard to pull that inbound lead, here's what it sounds like. Hit it for me.
How's it going? Good. How are you? Doing Very well, Peter. Thanks for asking. I was hoping to borrow just a few seconds of your time to explain why I called today.
Sure.
Perfect. I'm just following up. Had a note here that we've sent you a few marketing emails in the past. You probably opened and clicked through once. That's why I was alerted to call you. So I just wanted to see if you'd be the best person to speak with regarding your business's current phone solutions.
No, I would not be that person.
Big shock. It's good. Big shock. Could you guys hear that? Yeah, you clicked on stuff, and that's probably why they told me to call you. Well, that was compelling, wasn't it? At least he called. At least he called. I listen to thousands of calls every year, you guys, and this is so common. When we don't teach these guys what to say and how to connect with the customer, this is what comes out. And that's sad. So how do we do it, right? Like, how do we fill the rep-sized hole and get them to be better on the phone and stay longer with us? Well, I'm going to go back to a couple stats to teach us. The number one reason our salespeople are leaving our companies is a lack of development. The number one thing millennials are searching for, according to Forbes, is that development. Isn't that fascinating? We understand that we're not training these guys. We understand they want the training. And let's be honest, we need the training. So let's look how we've addressed that over the last few years. Let's look at where we're spending our money. Now, this number, let's be honest, is grossly underestimated, right? Usually we're spending probably more like $50K plus to recruit people. Tools, the average spend is around $8K and rising. And here's our itty bitty little development budgets. This number has not changed in 5 years. We're spending 3% of what we spend to find the people on developing, improving, and keeping these people. It's broken. We're hiding our reps behind these script masks. It's no fun. They don't like it. Let's change this, because what do we want? This. Confidence. Reps with confidence are reps that dial a second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth time. Reps with confidence are ones that aren't afraid to have a business conversation with your customers. They're not afraid to overcome an objection, to challenge them. All of this, right? This is what we're going for. This is what our customers are craving. So how do we do it? Well, naturally, I thought we'd ask Billy Beane. You guys know who Billy Beane is? Ladies, this might help. Remember this movie, right? So I love using sports analogies, and I suck at them. So somewhere in here I'm going to talk about football, I'm sure. But Billy Beane basically had a very small budget with the Oakland A's, and he used data to say, where is the smart investment? Do I need a pitcher? Do I need a closer? Do I need a third baseman, an outfielder, a better coach? No, I'm going to spend my money on the guys who can get on first. Why? Because you can't get home if you can't get on first. Another analogy, you can't get home if you can't get on first. Are you with me? So for the last 20 years, I've been working and teaching frontline sales reps, and these are my 5 magic classes. Out of 25 that we have, the ones that make the biggest difference the fastest for sellers are what I call first base skills. Getting on first base with your customer means getting the conversation. And 80% of what you see out in the marketplace is about when you have the conversation. If you see a sales book that's trending, if you see it at the airport, right? If you know it's a big trend, it's about the conversation. But in inside sales, folks, the struggle is getting the damn conversation. Am I right? So I'm going to go through a couple of my very favorite ones with you that pull off the mask. I'm going to start with intros. When we actually have somebody pick up the phone, God forbid, they accidentally pick up the phone, we got to keep them on the phone and get them engaged fast with an introduction. A brush off is that early objection that sounds like, oh, it's not me, I don't have time, I was just going to, we know what it sounds like, right? Yeah, let's get past that. Value props, boy, do we screw these up. Voicemails, guess what, they're cool again. and customer engagement. How do we get reps out from behind that script mask? So I'm going to talk to you about intros. I'm going to play you a couple. I'm going to give you exact things that you can go and do with your sales teams, a cheat sheet, and then I'm going to talk a little baby bit about voicemails and let you guys take that class for free. Are we ready? All right, here we go. Intros, great. Intros engage prospects and customers. There's a lot of bad intros out there. This is a ton of fun, you guys. Listening to the bad intros. A lot of fun on what goes wrong with them. Shall we hear one? Maybe a selection. Let's do it.
And wanted to touch base with you
I just wanted to touch base with you today.
Actually, I just wanted to, I'm not sure if you have a minute, I didn't get a chance to really talk with you in detail since the account transfer, and I just wanted to kind of get some details on your company and see how, and just to kind of be able to better serve you, I guess.
the reason for my call is just wanted to touch base with you, introduce myself. I just wanted to check in with you, touch base.
She had to say it twice. Number one offensive thing that happens in intros. Don't touch my base. Don't touch anything. Add value instead. Here's the number two mistake, the show up and throw up. Oh my God, you answered. I'm so nervous, I'm just gonna pitch all over you. You've heard it, you've probably done it, I know I have. When reps get a little bit better, they start this one. Hey, are you the person in charge of making the purchasing decisions at your, it's like a get out of jail free card, because what are you gonna answer to that? No, that guy died. Not me, right? Or how about the it's my value prop intro? Hey, we help customers in your space save 32% on the da-da-da-da-da. It just screams sales call, doesn't it? Get me off the phone. And that's what they do. So when we finally get somebody to pick up, let's quit messing it up. Here's what a good intro should do. It's under 10 seconds. It gets the decision maker talking, and it answers these three questions. Who are you? What do you want? And why should I give a damn? That's what the intro does. The intro is not the time to start selling. The goal of the intro is to get the customer talking. Not knowing anything about you, not being compelled, not being interested, not being intrigued, just get her talking. So we're going to do that with what we call a SWIFT intro. And SWIFT stands for, so what's in it for them? Now, here we go. The SWIFT intro, their name first. Why? Because it gets their attention. Your name, abbreviated version. I did some training for Hewlett-Packard a few years back, and the guy literally was like, hello, my name is Ron Gerald Edwards. I'm with Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, the small to medium division in the Phoenix. Nobody gives a damn. Say you're Ron from HP. Let's get on with it, right? Then we're going to get the SWIFT purpose statement, and this is where the magic happens, and end with the SWIFT questions. So here's what I want you to imagine. When you're outbound calling, even if you're responding to an inbound lead, your customer looks like this before you call. My head is down, I'm doing my email. I picked up the phone because either I didn't look at it or I thought you were my kid's daycare. But let's be clear, it's an accident, right? I answer the phone and I am still doing something. Your job is to perk my ear. That's it. Just enough to quit typing. That's step one. That's the SWIFT purpose statement. Step two is to get me to quit reading because now I have to talk. And that's why we want to get them talking as fast as possible. And that's what our SWIFT questions will do for us. So an ear perk, let's talk about that. An ear perk is something that catches the subconscious's attention. There's a cookie up here. Was I going to eat it during that? I'll figure it out later. All right, so an ear perk catches their attention. What do people, business people, intrinsically care about? How do we perk their ear? Well, here we go. Number one answer on the board? Time, money, ease of life, their reputation or looking good, power or control, avoiding risk, or a lever. You guys, I've taught this class in 50 countries around the world. And by the way, I did start with 4. And we crowdsource every time. Can you come up with something that business people give a damn about that's not on this list, and it all boils down to one of these? Here's some examples. My solution, or myself, I'm here to see if I can save you some time. I'm going to help make you some money, save you some money, increase your ROI. Maybe I'm going to make something easier for you. And I got to tell you, that's mine now as a working mother. When somebody calls up and says, hey, can I have 15 minutes of your time? I'd rather give you $300. No, you're going to have to work for that. Yeah, you're going to have to work for that. Maybe it's about making you look good or being the hero, right? Maybe it's about making sure you're protected for some risk. And the last one is a lever. Does anybody know what a lever is? It's a piece of information you have that clues them in that you know who they are, you're not a cold caller or an idiot. And the best one out there is somebody's name. Hey, Bob told me to call. Boom, I looked up. Now, the trick about the purpose statement is that you keep it short. You plug one of these values and you move on. Why? They're not freaking listening to you anyway. All right? It looks like this. Hey, Mr. Customer, this is Lauren calling with Factor 8. Now there's 2 options. Which one has the SWIFT purpose statement in it? A or B? Shout it out. You didn't sound very confident there, folks. Yeah, B. It's just this simple. Hi, it's Lauren calling from Factor 8. I'm calling to see if we can help get your reps hitting quota sooner. Hitting quota sooner, tags on money. I'm calling to see if I can help your reps get up to speed faster, save you some money, get a better conversion. Whatever it is, it's one sentence and that's it. And then we move on to the SWIFT questions. Now, it's really tempting for reps to try to pull this out and turn it into a value prop. But remember, we're not selling. We're just trying to perk his ear enough to quit typing. And the subconscious grabs on to these little words. Don't explain it. Don't use multiple words. One little word to get the ear perk. Now comes the magic. The SWIFT question. Now, I know every sales training you've ever been to said you ask open questions. Get the customer to go on and talk, right? Not yet. You ask a closed, simple, rote answer, no-brainer question because they can't stop themselves from answering it. If I ask you right now, how old are you? The answer is in your head. You didn't mean for it to be. You don't even like me very much. But it's in your head. And that means it's halfway out your mouth. Now, some filters are better than others. How much do you weigh? It's there. But I know I'm not going to ask you to say it. Okay? So the SWIFT question is about getting them to answer something quickly. Sometimes it's the same as your qualification questions. Here's an example. Max, LB here with Girls Club. I'm calling to see if I'd help you increase your membership at Sales Hacker. You've got more than 5,000 members, right? It's a yes, no question. In fact, being dead ass wrong helps. Right? You got about 100 members, right? No, we're up to 10,000. Uh-oh. Max is talking now. And now he can't read his email. Are you with me here? About 10% are enterprise, aren't they? Yeah, well, that's about right. I'd say so. Now, if you were to start this instead with, tell me about what's keeping you up at night, Max. Right? He'd be like, F off. I thought you were daycare, and I'm going to throw out an objection. You get them talking with the SWIFT intro, and they can't help but respond. Okay? So here's the review. Their name, company, purpose, question. I've got one example. Let's go ahead and play it.
So my goal is to see if we can help you accelerate the process of bringing new apps into your work environment. Do you guys currently use salesforce.com?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. What would you say your main system of record is then?
Workday.
Workday. Okay. We know
And
a
now
lot of
we're in the
individuals that work with Workday
conversation.
too.
Right?
And then
Go ahead and kill it.
does that integrate with?
It was so short. It went by like that. In fact, could you hear she was a little surprised? Oh shit, he's talking to me, right? We're tricking them into talking to us. Let's fight back, salespeople. We will make these customers ours. If you'd like a cheat sheet, I have script starters for every one of these values that you can go back and look at this example with your team and write your own. The tricky part's the questions. 2 or 3, closed, wrote, and easy. So email me, my team will send it to you, lb@factor8.com, and we'll get it to you. If you lead a team, how can you fix intros after you train them? Couple ideas. Number 1, don't just have a buzzer, buy a bat. And if anybody at your office says they're calling to touch base, you know what to do. Count, get on your ambition screen the number of conversations that happen. Okay? We know that a connect and a brush off is somewhere around a minute. The average time span of a voicemail is 1.5 minutes. Anything over 2 minutes, we got past the intro. Celebrate that for a while. Add it to your coaching form, have some contests, etc. Okay? Intros, good intros can actually double the number of conversations you're having with your customers. That simple. Get on first. I've got one other one I'm going to just tell you a tiny bit about, and then I'll offer you can take the class on your own. The one I love next is voicemails. Now, I know nobody leaves a voicemail anymore. But voicemails are cool again. 2 more harsh but true facts about voicemails. No one will ever call you back if you don't leave one. And you can't sell anything over voicemail. But the problem is 80% of us aren't leaving voicemails anymore, which is why it's new again. Sadly, when we don't leave a voicemail, it's like having a blank billboard. Okay? Reps are only calling 1, 2, or 3 times, and they're not leaving a voicemail. Your customer has no idea you exist. That lead that you paid thousands of dollars for has never heard your name. And that's a reason to fix it right there. Let's look at the goals of voicemails. Number 1, of course, is to produce a callback. But there's more than that. The second goal is to leave a positive brand impression. The third is to leave a positive rep impression. And the fourth, let's be honest, is to instill a little guilt when you do get a hold of that person. Okay? Jack from the Phoenix Suns has been calling me for 1.5 months. What Jack doesn't know is that I freaking hate basketball. Whoops, not baseball. I like baseball. Hate basketball. He's trying to sell me a box at the Phoenix Suns because I own a local business in Phoenix. There's no way in hell I'm buying this from Jack. I have never called Jack back. Be clear. On about call 7, I accidentally picked up the phone. I got Jack. Hey, it's Jack. I'm the one that sent you some floorboard. I'm the one that's called 87. He was super nice about the fact. And the whole time I'm thinking, I have been such a bitch to you, Jack. And so I listened to him, right? And he gave me the pitch, and I explained I hated basketball, and he told me there's also concerts there. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine, call me back another time. Jack got his foot in the door, but I had a positive impression. And when I did talk to Jack, I gave him my attention. What Jack didn't do was any of these foolhardy things that happen with voicemails. Just as many fun, awful voicemails out there. Let's listen to an example.
Hey Amanda, it's Brian Dahlman over here at Let. I checked in with you. Trust things continue to go well for you out there. I'm sure you're still having a tough time in terms of workflow coming through there. We are seeing some positive signs. Hopefully that translates to you guys definitely very soon as well. I want to stay in touch with you. I want to see, first off, if there were any needs in accounting and finance we can help out with. Definitely have some great candidates available immediately, but also want to let you know about a promotion we're doing here in May. We're offering on a temp to hire basis 200 hours with no conversion fee. Our standard is 720 hours with no fee, so we knocked off a couple months. Just trying to help you guys out. And, I know it's definitely tough times for a while now, as well as getting our candidates out to work a little bit more quickly.
It's like a 2-minute voice. Would you call this guy back? No. Would you even finish listening to it? No. He was trying to sell over voicemail. No one ever bought a damn thing over voicemail. What's a good voicemail look like? Under 20 seconds. Get straight to the point, be easy to understand, upbeat, and you gotta leave them wanting more. Over the last 20 years, we found 4 types of voicemails that actually produce callbacks. And if you'd like to have the training free for your team, here's how you get it. It's an e-learning class up on the sales bar. You will see a difference. You will go from 0 callbacks in the week to anywhere between 3 and 10 is the feedback that we're getting. You guys, even 5 more conversations in a week, it's like another selling day. It's like having a 6-day week, because let's be honest, we're only getting a hold of 5 or 6 of them anyway. And it's magic. It actually works. So if we can get our reps the conversations and build that confidence, we're going to see a big difference in our conversions, and we're going to fill the rep size hole in our funnel. So here's my information. If you'd like to connect one more time, there's the landing page. If you'd like the voicemails class, and I'll be here all day, really excited to talk to you if there's anything I can do to help. Thank you.